Live from Muskegon, Michigan, this is Tiger Talks Wrestling. Like, comment, subscribe, or be infected.
Welcome to Tiger Talks Wrestling. I'm your host, Tony. Today we are here for an AEW All Elite Wrestling Full Gear Prediction Show. For anybody who's in the comment section, feel free to give your picks as well. As I go through here, only 8 matches to discuss, so this shouldn't take long. Okay. We're going to get rid of that guy first. All right. Now, as you can see, the first match that they've got scheduled for the show is during the buy-in, their pre-show. And the buy-in match is a very personal match. Britt Baker, we got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Adam Cole's girlfriend, as everybody knows, going up against Bea Priestley. This feud has been going for a little while now in AEW, back and forth, but we haven't really seen them go one-on-one yet. I've been pretty impressed by what I've seen of Britt Baker. I'll be honest, I've never really seen either one of these two before AEW started. Britt Baker's been on a little bit of a roll lately. Bea Priestley, we haven't really seen a whole lot from. It's tough to pick who I think will win here. But I think they're both future AEW Women's World Champions. With that being said, I think my prediction is going to go towards Bea Priestley. Mainly because Riho's the current champion. And I'm not saying this is necessarily a number one contenders match because nobody said it is. But I just think Bea Priestley's going to get the upper hand, get the win, and then potentially move on to get a women's world title match against Riho more than likely at some point in time. Then we move on to the main show, where we've got Shawn Spears, the former Ty Dillinger, of course, with Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen in his corner, going up against Joey Janela. Now, this is a feud that just began picking up steam this past week, as we've seen on AEW Dark. If you watch that on YouTube, if you don't, you should, because they've had some amazing matches on there on their AEW YouTube channel. Backstage, Joey Janela was just sitting there. Tully Blanchard came in and was talking to him, and then Spears attacked him. And then this past week on AEW Dynamite, we've seen Shawn Spears was going to do more damage after his match, but Joey Janela made the save. They didn't touch each other, but looking like this is getting a little bit personal after, they said Joey Janela had done something to Shawn Spears originally to lead into this match. So either way, this is going to be interesting. Tully Blanchard hasn't really seemed to be the greatest in this manager role, in my opinion. I mean, sometimes he distracts the referee. Sometimes he doesn't at times. He hasn't played as much of a factor as I thought he would, because Shawn Spears doesn't have that great of a win-loss record. Then again, Joey Janela doesn't have that very good of a win-loss record either. So, I could see this one going either way. I could see Shawn Spears winning. I could see Joey Janela winning. The bad boy could use it in a way, but I think I'm gonna go with Shawn Spears getting the win. They need to build Shawn Spears up more than what they have so far, in my opinion. The only claim to fame he's got in AEW right now is that he busted Cody open the hard way with his steel chair. So, I mean, you got to build him up more than that, and he deserves better than what he's gotten, in my opinion, so far in AEW, just like he deserved better in WWE before he left there. Moving on. Next, we got the Lights Out Unsanctioned match, as you got Kenny Omega going one-on-one with Jon Moxley. This match, I don't think will go on this early in the show, but probably semi-main, maybe. But this match is going to be brutal, and I look to see the barbed wire broom, and the barbed wire bat being used finally, as they've teased it over the last several weeks on AEW Dynamite, and we actually haven't seen either one of them use them yet. But I'm sure they will get used along with thumbtacks probably and shards of glass and who knows what all else these two maniacs will bring out. But I think when it all comes down to it, I know this Lights Out Unsanctioned match, they say, doesn't mean anything record-wise. Doesn't matter that much. I know a lot of people are huge fans of Kenny Omega. I'm a big fan of Jon Moxley myself. I'm kind of rooting for Jon Moxley. I want to see him get the victory here. I could see Kenny Omega getting it, but I'm going to go with Mox. I think Mox has this one. They got a good chance of stealing the show. I'll give that to them too. Ooh, then we got this huge match, the rematch. You got Pac going one-on-one, the bastard Pac going one-on-one with Hangman Adam Page. It's gonna be a good match. Hi, Nathan Wallace. I see you in here. Yes, I remember you. Wrestling traveling man, Nathan Wallace, baby, to the house. If you got any predictions for the show, go ahead and leave them. Went through a couple matches already. Might go back afterwards. Pac and Hangman Page have had their paths crossed before a couple times. Pac has a pretty good win-loss record. He's lost only once or twice, I believe, in AEW so far. They've both been pretty impressive in AEW. Adam Page, of course, Hangman Page, was in the very first world title match. Came up short to Chris Jericho, of course, but still gave Chris all he could handle in that match. And Pac, well, I don't think anybody has to be told his accolades. He went over 2 years or around 2 years without getting a defeat on his record. So this will be a show stealer, I'll imagine. I see Nathan Wallace says he's got Kenny Omega defeating Jon Moxley. Says Hangman Page over Pac. I disagree. I got Mox winning that match. This one, though, the rubber match. I think I'm going to predict that Hangman Page will win. I'd rather see Pac win, to be honest, but I think Hangman Page will probably pick up the victory. I see the site I'm using that's got the pictures. Some of these people are saying Pac forever, Hangman never. Some people don't seem to care for Hangman Page. And I'm a fan of Hangman Page, but I'm just a bigger fan of Pac. Then we move on to the Young Bucks going against Santana and Ortiz, the former LAX, if you will. This tag team match is going to be outstanding, first of all. Probably a dream match for many people to see these two teams go against each other. And it might be the match of the night. We'll see tomorrow night, but this one's tough to pick. I mean, Santana and Ortiz are new to the company. The Young Bucks have been around. Their record isn't the greatest, honestly. I mean, they did get beat by Private Party in the first round of the tag team title tournament, which was a huge upset. They do have to rebound from that at some point, but I think I'm gonna go with Santana and Ortiz picking up the victory here. Maybe with a little help from Sammy Guevara, perhaps. But I think Santana and Ortiz are gonna pick up the victory anyway. I see some people are saying the Elite, but. And Nathan Wallace says the Young Bucks, the greatest tag team in history, will defeat Santana and Ortiz. I disagree with the greatest tag team in history, but they could beat them. We'll see. Then we move into the triple threat match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. You got SCU, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky defending against the Lucha Brothers and Private Party. Private Party had a pretty good showing that led in on this past week on Dynamite leading into this match. However, I think I'm going to have to go with SCU retaining the tag team titles. I don't think they're going to pull the world tag team titles off of Frankie and Scorpio this quick. They've only been the tag champs for a couple weeks, and I just don't see SCU dropping those titles. Not yet, anyway. So I'm going SCU. No prediction from you got on that one, Nathan. All right, I'll move on. Got SCU retaining as well? Okay. Then we move on to the Women's World Championship match. You got Emi Sakura, the teacher, if you will, as she is one of the trainers of the AEW Women's World Champion, Riho. These two will go at it. Emi Sakura got a kind of a little bit of a surprise victory in a tag team match over Riho this past week. It was Riho's very first defeat in AEW. Mr. Awesome going with SCU. Good to see you in here, man. Well, kind of surprised that it's got anybody in here in the chat section. I know NUW is replaying their Halloween Hell 3 from last night right now, too. So, but Riho, like I said, got her very first loss in that tag team match when she got pinned by Emi Sakura, which this match just came out of nowhere just because Emi got the win, pretty much, it seems like. And partially because of that, mainly because of that, and because of the fact that Riho just won the title a few weeks back. I'm going to go with Riho retaining and keeping that Women's World Championship. And honestly, when it comes to that women's division, AEW needs to do better with their women's division, in my opinion. They haven't built them up enough yet. And then you got the main event of the evening. As we've got the American Nightmare Cody going up against the Painmaker, Chris Jericho, for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jake Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger, in Jericho's corner for this match. But I do want to mention, see Nathan Wallace has Riho winning the women's title match. I do want to mention the promo that Cody gave this past week on Dynamite. You haven't seen that. You have to go back and watch it. That was one of the best promos, if not the best promo this year in wrestling, in my opinion. I know, right? Mr. Awesome says women's division. That's the weakest part. Yes, that is the weakest part of AEW right now. You definitely got to build that more. But as I was saying, that promo that Cody had this past week on Dynamite, amazing. You can't say enough. Can't praise him enough for that. I mean, even The Rock went on Twitter and praised how good of a promo that was. So he knows something about promos. Cody did say in that promo, though, that he doesn't like hearing things that he's been hearing from fans, how he's a booker, so as to speak. He's behind the scenes and also a competitor. So he did say if he loses this match to Chris Jericho, he will never challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship again. Now, that is something to think about when you're thinking about the prediction and watching this match. These two are going to put on a great match. We all know that. Cody and Jericho, great competitors. Well, they did also mention they're going to have 3 judges sitting outside the ring. So if this goes past the 60-minute time limit, they'll have 3 judges to pick who wins the match, which I think that's just crazy in its own right, if you ask me. But that's just me. Kind of pointless to have them there. because I don't see this going past that 60 minutes, and if it does, stupid, in my opinion. Nathan Wallace says, in this do or die match, I predict that the American Nightmare Cody will make good on his only opportunity to be the new AEW World Champion. It's a good prediction. The Inner Circle, we all know, will be there at Full Gear. We've seen Santana and Ortiz have the match against the Young Bucks. I'm sure Jake Hager will be in Jericho's corner. I'm sure Sammy Guevara will be there. Mr. Awesome says Cody, and I can't believe I'm saying that. I know, right? I'm kind of fucked on this one because I'd be surprised if they took the title off of Chris so soon, but I can't see Cody not competing for the world title again. I'm just have to say I love me some Jericho, but if not for that promo. Yeah. Nathan Wallace says Bret the Hitman Hart and boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard will be the judges. Well, there's 3 of them, so there must be one other person, but I don't know where you heard those 2 names because I hadn't heard anybody that was picked for sure yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. Well, hell, I didn't even know they had that there. Well, just for you guys, for a special treat, I'll even play Cody's promo here since they've got it right here. And then be a few minutes.
I know you have an announcement that's weighing heavy on you right now. Please tell us all what that announcement is.
I'm not surprised. We're not surprised. The arrival of Chris Jericho with the Inner Circle, it's been blunt. Or to use a more apropos term, it's been strategic. They have taken a scalpel to the elite. But it's a short victory lap, man, and here is why. We were already looking for you. We looked within our own club at one point. We have searched all over the world for our card that we could put our names on and match up with Matt and Nick Jackson, with Kenny Omega, with Hangman Adam Page, with myself, hell, with my brother. So, we were looking and you found us. November 9th, this Saturday, I find myself on the marquee with our AEW World Champion, Chris Jericho. Tony and I have talked about it. He knows what I'm about to announce, but before I do, humor me, I'm going to go on a bit of a detour and rattle off a few names. Kenny Graham, Cowboy Bill Watts, the American Dream, Dusty. All of them were titans in our business. They were the best bell to bell, and they were the best at the box office. And for those who saw them with their own eyes, those memories reverberate in their heart. It is a good feeling. It is positive. But for the cold and sterile historians of our business, there's an air of controversy that surrounds it. It's from the simple fact that those men were also, in addition to being competitors, they were management. Not unlike myself. And for the last year, I've told everybody, every podcast, every radio, every correspondent, I've shouted it off the rooftops how proud I am of AEW, how proud I am of the all-inclusive nature, of the schedule, of the pay, of the fact that we will listen. This is Ellis Island for a professional wrestler. This is freedom. So when I hear the same criticism attached to my name for being management and being in a title match, I can't not hear it. with that said, I am announcing that if I do not defeat Chris Jericho at Full Gear, I will never challenge for the AEW World Championship again. Chris Jericho, that is a very big if. It's not an encumbrance. It's not an albatross that is going to sit on your chest and weigh you down. It is going to vanish. You've taken to calling my lot entitled millennials. You've called me an entitled millennial bitch. I neglected to read in your best-selling book, A Lion's Tale, which you can get on Amazon for $3 or at any flea market. I neglected to read about the upbringing you had that was so hard. You talked about my silver spoon. Gosh, it must have been so difficult being the upper-class son of a famous hockey player. It is almost like we shared the exact same silver spoon, you stupid dick. You dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Will you call me an entitled millennial? I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you. And you've surrounded yourself with impressionable youth. This isn't about my dad. This isn't about the dead. It's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to goddamn deniable. At full gear, I beat you. I become the world champion, and you fall back into your circle, your inner circle, and you let them know the ground should be rumbling between their feet, because the elite are coming. And when the elite and the inner circle square off, it'll be a match beyond, and we are going to eat you alive.
Amazing passion. But what has this extremely talented young man done? The pressure he is now under.
Yeah, so like I said, amazing promo there from Cody. Up until that promo, my prediction was easily going to be Chris Jericho retaining the World Championship with a victory over Cody. But since that promo, like I said, I can't see Cody not winning. And I like Mr. Awesome's idea here. He says Cody wins via DQ due to the outside inner circle versus the elite stuff. I don't know if it'll be a disqualification or not, but I think Cody will win the match. However, I still think Chris Jericho is going to walk out still the world champion, though. In some way, shape, or form, Cody wins the match, but not the title. Again, I don't think they've announced who the judges are. I see Mr. Wallace here. Nathan Wallace says Bret Hitman Hart, DDP, and Sugar Ray Leonard, he thinks. Wants to know what we think of that. Bret Hart might have just been a one-off when he debuted the championship. I'm not positive on that. He could show up again. He could be there. DDP, I think, would be a bad pick to have in there because we know he'd favor Cody. Sugar Ray Leonard would be a decent pick, I guess, in there, but I don't know who the three judges will be. I don't know who they'll look towards or anything else. I could see him doing like 3 different Hall of Famers of some sort, but they won't matter in the end, in my opinion. But yeah, I got Cody Rhodes, or just Cody, if you will, picking up the victory again, like I said, just not winning the title. All right. So yeah, that's the card. That is what's supposed to take place tomorrow night at Full Gear. Nathan Wallace says AEW Full Gear main event, high stakes, high risk, number 3, do or die. Chris Jericho versus Cody for the AEW World Title with 3 judges at ringside to determine the winner if it reaches the full time limit. Yep, that's what they're building it as. So it'll be interesting to see if it goes the whole time limit. I doubt it, but it could. And maybe that's how Cody wins. Maybe, but still, the judges, it would seem like if the judges played a factor in the final decision, then Cody would have to become the world champion. But in that situation, but like I said, I got Cody winning. Just don't see him taking that title. So yeah. So you guys got any other predictions or anything you want to say about Full Gear before I wrap this up? Pretty much now. Nathan Wallace says, I'm undisputedly, I like what you did there, going with Cody winning the AEW World title. He could. I'm not saying it definitely won't happen. I'm just saying I kind of think Chris Jericho will still be world champion walking out of the show. We all know the Inner Circle and the Elite will get involved somehow, some way, shape, or form in this match. So. All right. So, with that being said, could be a good night for the Elite. It could be a good night for the Inner Circle. We'll find out tomorrow night for certain who's got the better night, who ends up having the better Full Gear, walks out with victory, so to speak. Full Gear looks like full steam ahead. Kind of does a little, doesn't it? Looks pretty nice. I heard a rumor that they're going to have a new stage, so we'll see what that looks like tomorrow night as well. Who knows what all they're going to change to make it look different, but I seen something online yesterday that they're supposed to have a new stage debuting tomorrow night. Who will be on commentary is a good question for that, too, because I don't know if they'll do Tony Schiavone and JR and Excalibur like they've been doing for Dynamite, or if they might go with something else and do maybe Excalibur, JR, and put somebody else in there as a third person. Who knows? One thing I do want to say from that Cody promo right towards the end, he mentioned how the Elite and the Inner Circle will meet in a match beyond at some point and go head to head. Now, the match beyond is what they call War Games, but I don't see that coming to AEW because I know Cody's tried getting it from WWE, but I don't see him dropping War Games at all. So I'm assuming they'll have to come up with something different for that if we get a 5-on-5 of some sort at some point. We'll see. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing Full Gear tomorrow night. I won't be watching it live because I'll be at work, but I will be watching it later on in the night. Expect some big things from them, hoping that it's going to be a good show. Some of their pay-per-views have been outstanding. Some of them have just been, pretty much, in my opinion. But they could use a big show here, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. And the next time I'll be on screen doing anything will be for here in a couple weeks for the NXT TakeOver and Survivor Series prediction shows. But I'm thinking I'm going to do that instead of here on YouTube. I might actually start a Patreon page and have it do it one night and then upload it the next day for everybody to listen to. I've kind of been looking into that. I listen to Big Boys and Body Slams on that page, and I'm pretty impressed by it. It's a free site, so I've been kind of thinking about starting something on there, but I don't know if I'll get a following over there, so we'll see if that happens. I might post more often over there if I do, depending on how things go. Alright. With that being said, just follow me on the usual platforms and you guys will find out when I'm on again and if and or when I get a guest on here again in the near future. Other than that, this has been Tiger Talks Wrestling. Full AEW Full Gear prediction show. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.